Gates open at 4 p.m. with kickoff following at 7. It's 84 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
All right, y'all, in the last week, we have seen lots of season-ending injuries. So after Liam Coen said yesterday after practice that everyone will play, and obviously by everyone he means everyone who's healthy, are you at all nervous about tomorrow night? Is it just me being the nervous Nelly and the worry wart that I am? Because if we lose somebody important this season, I'm going to very upset in that press box tomorrow night.
Yeah, listen, I'm not worried. It's part of the game, unfortunately. You don't want it to happen. And a lot of times injuries, they're non-contact. You're just out there running a route or covering somebody. I mean, both my major injuries were non-contact. I didn't even get hit, So
Anthony
it's just
Richardson's
part of the game.
Was contact.
Listen, Anthony needs to work on his peripheral vision. I mean, I know that was fast, but can you not see the big shadow coming? I don't know. You got a face toward him.
And shouldn't they have addressed that at the line of scrimmage?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right?
There's a lot of things wrong there.
Yeah, somebody screwed that up. But listen, it's a valid concern because we don't want anybody to get hurt. Like Rashawn Slater, the starting left tackle, Chargers, he just signed a big deal. They're like excited and boom.
Right, and they want to run the football.
It's so hard. It's so hard, especially when you train all off season and then you get hurt early. It's like, oh my gosh. And all you can do is rehab. That's all you can do. But injuries are part of the game, so you can't go in worried about it. Hopefully everyone just gets out unscathed and everything's okay. But you got to get out there and play. You have to, or you're just not going to get off to a good start for the regular season.
Yeah, I think it always makes people nervous because you're going to, if an injury happens like that in a preseason game, everyone's like, why were they out there? Like, it immediately turns to that. But they have to, a lot of them need to be out there, especially right now. There are still position group battles happening here. You won 4 games last year. There's a lot of things that you still have to figure out with new coach and new schemes and new players and all of these things. So you need live game reps. And even if it's against backup players in Pittsburgh, it's not your own team. So that's beneficial in a lot of different ways. And so I get it. It's a little bit nerve wracking, but at the same time, I do think I don't know what the difference is if you get hurt now or week 2. Either way, you're losing that person. And I think that you just hope for the best. And unfortunately, some of the bad ones happen. And we saw a few of them yesterday. It's a bummer.
You get hurt in practice.
Yeah.
It's not just
we've seen a ton so far this offseason.
Yeah.
Not here technically, but around the league, guys getting carted off every
not
week.
Season ending, but we have seen certainly people go on the PUP list or just be working off to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess for me, because the difference for me, Taylor, between the preseason and week 2 matters. It means something, and the preseason, literally no one keeps score. They keep scoring the scoreboard, but no one cares whatsoever. And so I guess that's the difference for me. But to your point, the bigger point is you can get hurt tomorrow in practice. You can get hurt next week, or you can get hurt in practice next week. You can get hurt in the game tomorrow, and it all shakes out to be you are going to get hurt one way or the other.
I think if you come off winning a Super Bowl, you could be like that. You know what I mean? Be like, hey, man, we just won a Super Bowl. Let's keep everyone healthy. But not when you're 4-13. I mean, you need to work. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, I don't even care about the score. I could care less. Sure. I just want to see that our first team units are performing well, efficiently, and getting the job done without mistakes. That type of thing. Get them in, get them to work, and then get them out. And that's the plan. But, man, you've really – look, it's important as far as how you're figuring out. I mean, look at the O-line. Do they really know the starting 5? And even if they do, are they confident going in like – you know what I mean? Like, if they didn't play him, like, that's the one unit I want to see play the most. I mean, for me, like, you look at Joe Burrow last night. He was on fire. You don't even need 2 touchdown drives for me. Get one and then take him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you definitely need to get out there, and the line needs a lot of work, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that was interesting, Taylor. Watching being at the press conference yesterday post-practice, Liam Coen, Robert Hainsey was walking behind the reporters. Mm-hmm. And so Liam Coen is looking at Hainsey as he's talking, and he's like, yeah, he came to me and said, and I could tell, like, some of the reporters didn't see Robert Hainsey walk by, so that's why they weren't sure. And I was like, oh, yeah, they have that relationship. So the center is going to go to him and say, look, we want to play tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. And Trevor certainly is one of those guys, too, that wanted to play. It's just, for me, I'm going to be in that press box like, okay, play the one series and please bubble wrap them the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I think that when I think you do want to see something. So I think most people, if it's a 3 and out, you may want to see something else and like, okay, that didn't work. Let's see if we can get something going after, on that second series. But if you come out in that first series, it's you score. Even honestly, to me, if you drive down the field and get a field goal and it looks like it was fluid and things were going well and the line looked like it was protecting and everyone kind of felt like they were doing their job, I feel like that's what you can ask for out of a one. But I do think, the Bengals are the perfect example, Tommy, because Joe Burrow's dealt with a lot of injuries in his time in Cincinnati. And if Joe Burrow goes down, they're really screwed in Cincinnati. And they have a very more difficult division, obviously, than here, too. So they have even more worries. But what they've noticed is their slow starts. And they wanted to change that this year and say, hey, let's see if having these guys get some reps in the preseason helps with the slow starts. So if the Bengals are doing that, then the Jacksonville Jaguars should definitely be doing that. And
Burrow specifically was like, I want the work. Yeah, I want to get out there and play. Most guys do. You just don't want to be out there forever. It's preseason. But you get all hyped up, the pregame, the crowd, the music, everything. And then you want to go play a little bit. And then you want to go grab the sunflower seed bag and take off the shoulder pads, put the baseball cap on, and start chewing some seeds the rest of the game on the sideline. But you do got to get out there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Lauren. They're big boys. They'll play hard. It can happen. But again, listen, you could do a goal line scrimmage and someone could go down and then everyone would be like, well, what are you doing a goal line scrimmage for? And you're like, well, because we got to be good on the goal line.
Score.
I don't know. We got to figure this out, right? And you'd think you could just figure it out in the regular season. But I tell you, I think coaches are so think about it. Like you drop the first 2 because you're just not ready. Well, those 2 could cost you a shot at the wild card if you don't win your division. You know what I mean? And even just 1 could hurt you, So you need to work just for that, creature habit type thing. And they'll be okay. They'll make it through, and I think it'll be good. And look, you don't want anybody to get hurt. You don't. And I've had the injuries, and they're not fun. But at the same time, you that's what the risk is. You know the job. The risk is you could get hurt. You could get hurt permanently. You could, almost die. We've seen that. You know what I'm saying? That's just the risk you take as a player.
To play this violent game, for sure. Yeah. On the flip side, the fun part will be to see what the interior of the defensive line looks like. To Tom's point about the offensive line, is it the offensive line that we expect based off of what we've seen at training camp, or do they mix that up a little bit?
Right.
I can tell you, as far as practice went yesterday, they were definitely mixing up the offensive line, and there was a defensive series that not a true defensive tackle was on the field for an entire series, like not just one play. They had 0 true defensive tackles on the field, and I thought, well, this is going to be interesting for Saturday night if they want to mix that up.
Was it Agba, Trayvon, Josh Hines Allen? Who was the 4th? Do you remember? And Smoot, okay.
Yeah, that was the 4 they went with.
I like that.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's
fun. That's a good pass rush. And,
I hope I'm not giving anything away from the Steelers.
Right. Sorry. No, they call. You know what they call that? Something. It's like an engine or something. Every team has like that defensive line. That's our pass rushing.
I always like to say lightning.
Defense.
I don't know if that's
it's not lightning.
No.
I forget. I think it's the name of a sports car or something.
Well, with how
Porsche. I can tell you. BMW.
When things are with the way that things have gone with the interior defensive line, obviously with Armstead and Mason Smith. I maybe do it. Just go for it. Yeah. Have those guys out there and just send them.
Well, it's a concern. They know it's a concern.
Sure,
they see it. Listen, they may not say it publicly, but they see Walker getting beat too many times. They're a little concerned. Walker Little about that. They're a little concerned. He can fix it with a good showing on Saturday night. But, if you take the O-line out of it, what's the biggest concern? It's that interior D-line. Yeah. And if they don't hold up, it's going to be tough. I don't care how good everybody else is because they'll run on you.
Yeah.
And if they run on you, that's when they just, they put the dagger in the sails and the air goes out and it's tough to come back from.
Yeah, and that's when you have those long drives, too, that if you're talking about guys getting tired, that's when it happens.
Yeah, no question about it. So, by speaking of tired, look, Devon Hamilton can play. He just gets upright. And I think he gets upright because he gets tired. The first thing you do when you get tired is you either want to get on your knees and try to catch your breath, or you stand up.
Yeah.
that's just the human nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he can stay low, he's big enough body. And that new guy, I know you probably know his name. He's number 69. He came from the Bears, the Bills. Johnson. Yeah, he's interesting. He's 315 pounds. Mm-hmm. He's a big defensive tackle. He's played the game for a little bit, so maybe he can come in and help, solidify that interior. I'm waiting for Jordan Jefferson to break out a little bit. I thought maybe he was going to have some juice. We know what we get out of Lacy.
This was his chance to do it at any point, and you haven't seen him.
You're right. He's got every opportunity. And then Lacy, too. You kind of know what you got out of Lacy, but, he's there fighting for his football life, too. Mm-hmm. But you're going to need someone to step up because I don't know about Armstead, and I don't know when, Mason Smith's going to come back. So that's a big hole to fill if that's the case.
You are correct. We will continue to talk about the Steelers coming to town tomorrow night. On the other side, we will chat with Brooke Prior from ESPN, talk all things Steelers. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You're looking through a Lee and Kate's Glass Friday on Helmets and Heels.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
1010XL's Hayes Carline represents you in the locker room.
So you gotta up your game.
Interview persons of interest so you'll have the information you need to get ready for game day.
Time to put on your game face.
Opened by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's the little things like a peach milkshake on a warm day that makes summer sweet. And now you can head to your local Chick-fil-A and enjoy a favorite summer treat again. Hand spun the old-fashioned way, this refreshing milkshake features Chick-fil-A ice cream and peaches. It's the perfect cold treat to enjoy outside on a warm day or with friends and family after dinner. And it's here for just a limited time, so swing by your local Chick-fil-A and treat yourself today.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Summer's winding down, and Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville has great deals. Cruise on the roadways and highways in a stylish new Tucson, pack the family into a spacious Santa Fe, or explore our selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. Find hot deals on Hyundais. Backed by our exclusive nationwide lifetime warranty, Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville.com. Visit us on Atlantic Boulevard. For all life's journeys, Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville is here. Welcome to the family. See dealer for details.
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Rock fans, get ready. Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs are rolling into the Florida Theater Thursday, August 14th. Founding member of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Mike brings raw rock and roll, killer guitar riffs, and that unmistakable edge. Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs.
These are the best of times.
Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com. Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs, August 14th at Florida Theater.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Luke
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you, and we are so excited that Brooke Prior is feeling better and is able to join us today. Brooke, thank you so much for hopping on.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Thanks for being able to reschedule. Sometimes I feel like, you're at camp for a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden it just hits you like a literal train is what it felt like. But I have bounced back, and I am now good as new.
I'm so glad, yes, you are feeling better. I think all of us who attend training camp feel like our life completely shifts from the off season to all of a sudden being regular season in the blink of an eye. So we feel you for sure. All right, so we know Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, TJ Watt, the Stars, and 12 other Steelers players are not going to play tomorrow night. So give some Jaguars fans some players that people should be keeping their eye on Steelers-wise.
Well, I think, it's going to sound weird to start off with the punters, but
we talk a lot of punters here, bro.
Listen, we love the punters, and the Steelers are going to play both of theirs, and I think it is one of the best matchups that's kind of gone under the radar. In fact, I didn't even include it in my 3 things that I'm watching in an article that I put on ESPN.com today, but that is a massive oversight by me. Because those two, Cam Johnston and Corliss Waitman, Cam Johnston they signed a year ago, and he got hurt in the very first game of the season against the Falcons, and then he was out all year. He had a pretty catastrophic knee injury. He's back at full strength. The Steelers signed Corliss Waitman to be their punter after Johnston's injury. And then he had a pretty good year, too. And the two of them have just been absolutely booming punts in practice. I'm really interested to see how it goes in the game. Obviously, the Steelers' offense is going the way they wanted to. Neither one of them would be out there very often. But they're not going to have Aaron Rodgers. They're not going to have Will Howard, their rookie 6th-round pick, because he has a broken pinky in his throwing hand. So they're going to be riding with Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson. There could be some opportunities for the punters. So those are 2 guys that I'm interested to see. Tomlin said they're going to kind of go punt for punt and alternate there. I'm going to be looking at some of the wide receivers down the roster because they'll probably carry 5 or 6 receivers. So a guy like Roman Wilson, 3rd-round pick from a couple years ago that didn't play much last year. He was injured most of the year. He's looked really good in camp recently, the last 3-4 practices. He's someone that I think is really coming on strong. Calvin Austin will not be playing, but I think that could mean a bigger opportunity for a veteran like Scotty Miller, Ben Skoranek, some other guys down the roster, Brandon Johnson, Rock Taylor. I think that I'm interested to see how the rest of this wide receiver group shakes out. And then on the defensive side, the guy to keep an eye on the defensive line, Y.A. Black, I believe he wears number 78. He was a 5th-round pick this year. He has had a number of batted balls throughout training camp, and it has just been really interesting to see. He's very long, very lanky, and he has, to me, paired really well with Derek Harmon, their 1st-round pick, who I would also expect to see play tomorrow, but Y.A. Black has just been all over the line of scrimmage. So my guess is if a ball gets batted, he is probably the culprit.
Brooke, a couple of the players that I was excited to kind of look at and see for the first time this week, and one I'm guessing will not be playing, Derek Harmon. I saw he has an injury, right?
It's tough to say because when we talked to Mike Tomlin yesterday, Thursday, Tomlin did say that Harmon was going to play. And then it looked like in practice yesterday, he may have gotten banged up a little bit more, but we didn't get to talk to Tomlin after practice because he talked before. So the last we heard from him, he's going to play. I would guess that they'll be more conservative with him if he does play. I don't think we'd see a lot of him. And if there's any injury question, they would definitely hold him out. So he's one that I'll be watching in pregame warmups.
And the other one, obviously, being Jack Sawyer. He's a name that a lot of people talked about coming into the draft also, and especially after what you were able to see from him last year as he was still in college. So thoughts on him in general, how camps looked with both those young guys, and will we be able to see him?
Yeah, Jack Sawyer is expected to play, especially because the Steelers are not going to have their top three edge rushers. Alex Highsmith is dealing with a groin injury, and then T.J. Watt and Nick Herbig, neither one of them are playing. So it should be DeMarvin Leal and Jack Sawyer, and I've been really impressed with Jack Sawyer. He has looked really good early. To me, he kind of felt like a luxury pick when the Steelers drafted him, I believe, in the 4th round, because they didn't really have a need at edge rusher with those top three guys. Like I mentioned, they had kind of been signing a veteran to fill that 4th edge rusher, kind of a rotational guy. But to me, this pick is them looking and building toward the future because, yes, they just signed T.J. Watt to another massive deal, but he's on the wrong side of 30, if such a thing exists for a Watt. But, eventually at some point, maybe when he's 50, he'll be done playing and they need to have some guys behind him ready to fill in. And to me, Jack Sawyer has been that through camp. He's been really physical, been in the right places. He was running with the first team defense yesterday. Again, that's because TJ and Alex Highsmith weren't practicing, but he's held up. He hasn't been in an obvious weak spot in the defense, so I've been really impressed with him.
Hey, Brooke, Tom McManus here. I'm new to the show, so nice to meet you, and thanks for taking the time. Tell us how Aaron Rodgers is fitting in with the Steeler organization, not just on the field, but locker room, weight room, how the guys feeling about him. What's your sense when you look at it from as a whole?
I've been pleasantly surprised at the way he's been kind of able to assimilate to his surroundings, and I think it helps a lot that he's starting out in Latrobe. Yes, he was in Pittsburgh for minicamp. They're on the south side. That's their practice facility. But in Latrobe, it's a much more controlled environment. It's much smaller. I think it reminds him a lot of the college where the Packers had their training camp when he first got there and went away to camp at a small D3 college. It gives them an opportunity to kind of bond. They're staying in the dorms, things like that. And it seems like from every teammate that I've talked to, they have been surprised and impressed at how down-to-earth he is, how kind of one of the guys he is. They've all said that he's really sarcastic in the huddle, is, quick to zing ya. Things like that they appreciate because it doesn't feel like he's coming in there and saying, I'm a Hall of Famer, we're going to do things my way or no way. But he is, at the same time, though, very demanding. He wants receivers to run routes the way he wants to run them. He coaches them up after, there's a missed connection. I see him pull guys aside during practice all the time and kind of go through some of the intricacies with them. So far, he's fitting in, and there hasn't been a whole lot of that extra drama that came with him all off season. So this is the Aaron Rodgers that the Steelers need to keep getting for this to work out. And, so far I think that he is fitting in. Obviously the on-field stuff to me feels like it's been a little bit slower to come together, but that's also the byproduct of not being here for OTAs, not participating in the team period during minicamp because he was still getting worked into the system. So some of that on-field chemistry has been a little slow, but in the last 3-4 days, I think it's picked up some, and it looks better than it did the first week and a half.
Brooke Prior of ESPN with us from up there in Pittsburgh. Brooke, Will Howard, before he got injured, did it look like maybe he's the succession plan at quarterback?
I think it was too soon to tell. The fans certainly seem to want that. I've never seen a rookie 6th-round pick get just the crazy applause and cheers that he got just from, literally stepping on the field. Or, he could sneeze and he would get cheers from the crowd. It was crazy. And he looked good. He did not look bad out there. I thought he did some really nice things, but I still think that the Steelers drafted him knowing that this was going to be a developmental year. I think best case scenario for him would have been to be able to play in the preseason and develop into being a really good QB2 maybe next year, or a guy that might start the year while they get ready to start whoever they draft in 2026, when, by the way, the draft is held in Pittsburgh. The Steelers, obviously, we don't know where they're going to end up in the draft, but they should have a ton of comp picks to be able to move up if that's something they want to do. So I think the table's kind of being set for 2026 to be the year that they bring somebody in. And, Will Howard, I think it really hurts him that he is not going to be able, at least at this point, to play in the preseason because of that broken pinky in his throwing hand.
Brooke, when you talk about the offensive line, 4 of the starting 5, at least at this point on the depth chart, have been drafted by the Steelers the last few seasons, everyone except the left guard. So when you're talking about just the way they've built the offensive line there in Pittsburgh, and then also the expectations for this weekend, even though Aaron Rodgers isn't there, are you expecting those starting guys to be out there for those backup quarterbacks?
I think it should be everybody but Isaac Seumalo. He is the left guard who he started out the year on non-football injury list, had a soft tissue deal that he was working through. He was activated about a week and a half ago, and they've been really intentional and slow about bringing him back in. So they are resting him for this game. I would expect to see some Broderick Jones. He, is a starter at left tackle, was right tackle the last 2 seasons, but he did deal with a groin, lower body, soft tissue injury early in camp when the pads first came on. He's another one that they were kind of slowly bringing back, but I think they'd like to get him on the field. And then Troy Fautanu at right tackle, also, again, expect him to start even with the backup quarterback because he missed, I think, almost all of his rookie year dealing with a knee injury. So he's someone who, the more time that he gets in pads, full contact, the more confidence he has in his knee, and the better I think that they think he'll play when, the season actually gets here. So I would expect to see the bulk of the starters out there with the backup quarterbacks. Maybe not the whole time by any means, but I do think that they will start.
Hey, Brooke, what kind of camp does Mike Tomlin run in 2025? I mean, you can only be so physical in today's NFL, right? They only give you so many days in pads and how much you can hit and that kind of thing. But overall, is it a physical practice when they're in pads, or how is it from your perspective?
Oh, yeah. Don't tell Mike Tomlin that you can't have physical practices in 2025. I think all you need to know is that last year they moved practices to be in the morning. They tried something different. It was like a 10 a.m. start time. And this year, Mike Tomlin shifted practices back to the afternoon to start at 2 o'clock to go from 2 to 4. And he was asked, well, why did you move it back? And he said, well, I don't think it was miserable enough. It wasn't hot enough in those morning practices. And I can tell you from standing on the sideline, and again, I am just standing. I'm not putting on pads. I am not in uniform. I'm not hitting anyone. I am miserable because, we might be in Western Pennsylvania. You might think, well, it's probably cooler up there in the summer. It is not. It was upper 90s, feels like hovering around upper 90s, low hundreds for the first week. It cooled off in the last week, but that plus the physicality, he loves the backs on backers, just getting, tackled to the ground. It is very physical. Camp, when you finish, you feel like you've run a marathon, and yet the season is just starting.
Yeah, we can understand that from standing in the also 100-degree heat, maybe even higher than
9 a.m.
heat. Yeah, and that is in the morning, so I certainly understand. All right, Brooke, well, it sounds like tomorrow night we need a punt-off between the 2 Steelers punters and Logan Cook. That'll be maybe the most scintillating thing that we'll get all night.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you are a punting aficionado, tomorrow night will be your night.
There we go. Punters are people too. Brooke, thank you so much for your time. We so appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So I texted Brooke, hey, if you're going to be in the press box tomorrow night, obviously I'll come say hi. And she said, not going to make it for the preseason game, but this is one of the only stadiums that she has not been to. But I told her, wait.
Yeah, we have a new one coming.
Pardon our dust for the here and now. And check in with us in a couple years when it's completely renovated, and then you'll come down and see it. All right, on the other side, Tommy has his takeaways. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels. Covered by Lee and Kate's Glass.
New look, same great service.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Need electric vehicle repair? Guardian Collision is expert certified for any electric vehicle. Trust the home team for auto body repair on your EV. Guardian Collision. They guard what moves you at GuardianCollision.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach pontoon boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Your grandfather was stronger at 50 than you are at 40. Want to know why? His testosterone was 30% higher than yours. That's not genetics. That's modern life killing your hormones. Stress, chemicals, sitting, it's all crushing your T levels. Male Excel reverses it. Prescription testosterone, thyroid optimization, personalized to you. Over 100,000 men are already winning again. Your turn. Try MaleExcel.com. Free assessment because you deserve it. Your family deserves it.
Playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coatings, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Thanks again to Brooke Prior from ESPN joining us. It's going to be an interesting one tomorrow night. Every preseason game, I feel like, has that different vibe, certainly than the regular season. But you know what? The Jaguars fans that haven't been downtown, they are going to get to see all the construction that's been happening. We'll go over some of those updates in a second. But first, Tom has his takeaways.
Now.
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
All right, my takeaways brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is really wishing the young guys, the first-year players, the best of luck tonight. I can remember in 1995 trying to make this team that first preseason game and just hoping I get a shot to get out there and make a play. You've done really well in practice. Now you got to turn it into the game, right? And I'm looking at guys like LaQuint Allen Jr., who should be on the team. I'm not saying that, but let's see what he's done in practice and bring it to the game. Jaquindon Jackson, this bull of a running back. Come on, show what you're made of tomorrow night. Wyatt Milam, you've had some opportunities. We want to see you be mean and nasty and get after it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. How about a Chandler Brayboy, number 15, who starts to make plays? I don't know if he'll make it, but, man, I hope he can still continue to make plays. I'm looking forward to seeing Jack Kaiser tomorrow night, seeing if he can stand out. And I tell you, my last guy I'm looking for, because he's made a ton of plays, Zachariah McPherson, number 34, is inching his way up the depth chart to make a name, or at least be on this team potentially. So my takeaways are tonight or tomorrow night, fellas. You gotta go take it, man. I wish you nothing but the best, and I know you're fighting for that NFL football life. So I'm all behind you. Brought to you by our good friends at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, 506-1256 for your free estimate today.
I'm very excited to see the distribution with the running back position, how many carries each guy gets, and what does that look like, catching the ball to the backfield as well, pass protection. Like the running back position group, to me, we already talked about offensive line. We already talked about interior, the defensive line. That, to me, is probably one of the more exciting ones. Of course, the receivers and that too. But I feel like we kind of know what we have as far as the starting receivers. I don't know still who the starting running back is. Like I could literally listen to an argument for Etienne and for Bigsby. Probably not still for Tootin. I think because of the injuries that he suffered. With the hamstring, but he's certainly back. And then I don't think they can keep 5 running backs, but certainly Jaquindon Jackson is making an argument for him to be on this team.
Yeah, and that's what it's one of the rooms that has been interesting, and I think especially coming off a year where they weren't able to run the ball very well, that's just been such a focus anyway, in addition to the way that Liam Cohen likes to. We saw what he did in Tampa, and we've talked about that a ton, but that makes it even more intriguing of what you're really expecting. And then, the depth chart comes out, and it has that or with Etienne or Tank, and so even that, that adds some questions of like, okay, who is going to be that RB1 week 1? But then also, how do they use these guys? Is it that we've heard a lot of people say it could be that running back by committee type of thing because each of them have their strengths at certain areas of that run game. And so do they lean into that, or do they let one of these guys kind of earn the spot and show they can do a little bit of everything? We saw last night in the Ravens game, Keaton Mitchell, he looked incredible last night. Unfortunately for him, he's behind a guy named Derrick Henry, so I'm not sure how much he'll actually be out there.
But a total change of pace between
yes, and that's what it's nice to see that. And so I do think in moments like that, those are the guys that are winning in these preseason games. And so I would like to see, when you talk about Tank and Etienne, obviously you want to know who kind of takes over for that week 1, but behind that there's 3 backs that we're talking about that can all be a part and be kind of game, I don't want to say changers, but makers in certain areas.
Yeah, listen, first of all, I credit Etienne Jr. a ton because he's really attacked this Cam, and he's looked really good. He could have gone the other way, be like, oh, man, he drafted guys. They don't want me here. They don't like me, yada, yada. He's like, no, I'm going to fight for this thing. And he's really shown. I think it's contagious to the rest of the backs. They're like, hey, man, I got to step up, too. I think Tank's going to look good tomorrow night. I'll tell you, Tootin's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to break one. No one's going to catch him, and he's going to move up the depth chart. I mean, it's just going to be that simple. Now, Jaquindon's interesting. I don't know if you keep 5. I don't know how you keep 5. Yeah. But if none of the other 4 can be that goal line and short yardage back that you kind of need, that guy that can take that backer in the hole and not get driven back, maybe not get 4 or 5 yards, but get that yard, fall forward and get that first down. He's the biggest out of the backs in terms of height and weight. He's not the fastest out of the backs, but he's got a little bit of movement and he can run, and he's pretty good out of the backfield. But, man, he looks like a bulldozer when he's coming through that line. So it'll be interesting. I think he'll have a big night. It probably won't be till the fourth quarter or third quarter. Jackson, that is. And then LaQuint Allen, I think he's really shown that, hey, man, I could be your third down guy. And when that happens, if that happens, somebody will be expendable out of the other 4. Somebody will, because if he can really be third down, hey, I'm your change of pace. I'm the guy that goes out for passes. I'm the guy that can pick up that blitz and make sure Trevor's taken care of. You know what I mean? Well, then you don't need one of the others. You just don't, because he's going to be your third down back.
I do wonder if they're going to try and quote unquote hide Jackson, because Jaquindon Jackson is a guy that most other teams may not be as familiar with
right now,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so if we don't see him have as many snaps, I wonder if that's because they're not trying to show him off to the world. But speaking of Keaton Mitchell, so Keaton is our dog's name. I wanted to take a video last night of Keaton running and be like, who's faster, who's better, like this Keaton, but it's way too hot for my Keaton to run anywhere.
I will say another, and when we were talking about, you mentioned obviously McPherson and using Raywan Lane, they drafted him too. So there's some interest. They have 19 defensive backs right now. So there's some decisions to make back there. When we've talked about the front of it a lot, we've talked about those starters and what that's going to look like. But I think a game like this weekend is where you really see that tail end and where they make that cutoff, how many they end up keeping in that room. And I know last year, I felt like the decision was difficult last year because more so, I didn't love a lot of things. So I was like, I feel like eventually you're going to have some depth pieces to figure some stuff out. And I feel like in maybe a little bit in some areas, maybe it's like that. But right now it's more so if a guy, you're just planning, like if a guy goes down or how much depth do you have back there? And there's a lot of decisions because we've seen a lot of these players play really well through camp too.
Yeah, and listen, the DBs make great special teamers because they're typically really good athletes and fast and good in space. So are linebackers and tight ends, and then it kind of maybe a fullback, maybe a defensive end.
A fullback? What's a fullback?
Yeah, no kidding.
I love the fullback.
But guys like that can play special teams. But those DBs, man, they're, like I said, they're great in space and they're fast. So I can see why they have a lot of them. See if they can make it on special. At the end of the day, guys, if you're not starting or a quality backup, you have to be good on special teams, or there's no need for you. Just because you're a good practice player, look, if you add special teams to it, yeah, we love the guy. He's great on special teams. But if you don't have that, they're like, what do I need you for?
Yeah.
You know what? I can't find anybody to back up this guy and run down on kickoff.
But if we can use you on game day,
that's right.
Yeah,
then it matters.
Think about Andrew Wingard and Daniel Thomas, two guys that haven't gotten a ton of starts. Wingard maybe a little bit more over the last couple of years than DT, but talk about excellent special teams players. Daniel Thomas is I think, a reason that the Jaguars ended up beating the Chargers because of one of the special teams plays that he made in that postseason game that feels like forever ago.
And on the other side of the ball, that was the reason Tim Jones made the roster. All of those.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, that fifth and sixth wide receiver, you have to have some special teams out of them. And then certainly to your point, the DBs. All right, we will go over the stadium navigation update with you on the other side and let you hear a little bit from Liam Cohen. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Lee and Kate's Glass, Friday on Helmets and Heels. From pit road to victory lane.
The sun setting behind him, the wind at his back.
This Sunday at Watkins Glen.
The checkered flag is in the air.
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on 1010XL.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 8, 1992, the original United States Dream Team wins the basketball gold at the Barcelona Olympics.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has two epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal conditions.
We're a
veteran and still 100% locally owned and operated HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, and general contracting company. Ideal Conditions has been BBB accredited with an A+ rating since 2008 with 4.9 out of 5 stars from over 1,000 reviews on Google.
Call 904-500-CONE.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
IdealConditionsJax.com.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors with great ratings and expert reviews. You know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJax.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Did you know that basketball and volleyball were invented at the YMCA? That's right, and even today, the Y continues to lead the way in youth sports programming, from toddlers just starting out to teens ready to compete. The Y offers skill development, recreational play, and competitive leagues, all in a fun, supportive environment. Get your child in the game to build character and skills at the Y. Registration is now open for youth volleyball and soccer at fcymca.org.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends, the Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Back to school special with those guys. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135, plus a free hallway and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I can't talk over Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, definitely not.
Freddie Merc, he's the best. One of the best.
Absolutely.
I remember being like in grammar school, and I had to go to my older brother's basketball game at this public school. We went to a Catholic school, so we went to this public school. It was all rough and tough and stuff. And all the kids were banging the bleachers with their feet to this song, and it was rocking. It was like, holy cow! I was like in 5th grade. I was kind of scared. But that was the first time I ever heard that, too. And I was like, this is great.
It is. When you're in, like, real bleachers with that,
Yeah.
it does. It's cool.
yeah.
It's like a cool feeling. It gets me. Yeah.
I love Queen.
Let's try it.
so
We got
much.
some bleachers right
Yeah,
here.
we do.
Let's get over there and start banging it.
You have to sing later tonight, so you can
I
kick
do.
us off. Buddy or a boy, make a big noise, shouting in the street. Gonna be.
We do Fat Bottom Girls.
I
That's fun.
love Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah,
and
Fat Bottom Girls, good one.
You did that one at Pete's, and
Yeah,
I
we
was,
did.
I was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
My problem when I go to stuff like that, and by the way, Dad Bods will be playing at Culhane's in Atlantic Beach tonight, so make sure you
Tonight,
get there.
yeah.
It starts at 8:00.
Thank you.
My problem is, of course, people always want to chit chat during songs. And I'm not trying to be rude, but
No, I know.
the band only plays for like 3 or 4 hours, and they take breaks.
Yeah.
Chit chat in
In
those
the breaks.
times.
Yeah.
Do not talk when a good song is on, or
It's
try to
so
have a
funny.
conversation. Like, please just let me sing.
Yeah.
I know.
There's definitely people out that are not the music people like we are. And like some of my friends they'll dance a little bit,
Sure.
but they're still the whole, like if they have something to say, they'll say it and they'll want to chat. And I'm like, can you give me a minute? I love this song.
Yeah, Christina sometimes be like, guys, you're really loud. We can't even hear each other talk. I'm like, we're a rock band.
Yeah. That's what we're
I don't know. It's loud, and we're happy to do it. St. Cohen is one of our favorite
it's a great venue.
So, yeah, it'll be a good time.
On the boat last weekend, a song would come on, and I'd be like, oh, this is one of my favorites. And by the end of the weekend, everyone's like, how many favorites do you have? I'm like, oh, I have probably like 1,000.
Yeah, a whole playlist of favorites.
Yeah, I do, but that's a good thing. Head to Cohen again starting at 8 o'clock. All right, let's talk about some of these stadium navigation updates. Chad Johnson, the COO of the Jaguars, met with everybody yesterday post-practice and talked about how things will look a little different outside of the stadium. Once you're inside of the stadium, though, nothing will change your in-bowl experience. In other words, whether you sit lower bowl or upper bowl, that does not change whatsoever. What has changed, though, are those East and West club gates. If you have an East and West club gate ticket, you can access those. If you have a ticket for somewhere else, you cannot go through the East and West clubs. Right. Those are only for those club ticket holders. All general admission guests should access the main concourse for full circulation around the stadium, as the ground level no longer connects gate to gate. So again, make sure you just pay attention where on a map which gate you want to go into. Yeah. Obviously, your parking as well.
So you got to take the escalator or stairs.
Yeah, go
off.
up to if you need to circle around. If you do go into a gate that's not by your section, you have to go up to one of the upper levels to be able to get around. If not, you'll get stuck. You won't be able to fully get from like 4 to 3 or whatever the case may be.
Right. That makes sense. What about the suite holder people? Like, do they go in the concourse and then catch that elevator that's like midway down the way?
That's a good question. I would assume so. We were given more information for the general admission than you suite people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not one of them. I'm just curious. I mean, the suite guys got to get up there somehow.
I would imagine, the elevators still work, so I would assume that part will be the same. Gate 4 on the southeast end is now a super gate, so that's kind of exciting. That directs fans to the fan entertainment zone, the south end zone, Daly's Place, and the south escalators. And then mobility assistance will be offered near each stadium gate. So that certainly has not changed. Wayfinding signage and representatives will be available throughout parking lots and the stadium to assist where you need to go. For more information, visit jaguars.com/stadium. I can tell you this. The media parking has changed. It's always different year to year, but this year it's solely in the fairgrounds lot. And the way I come from the beach, I always go over the Hart Bridge. But in looking at the map and talking to my friends that have parked in fairgrounds before, they recommended take the Matthews. It is much easier to access the fairgrounds because of where that's located. And you never know if A. Philip Randolph and some of those cross streets, how much traffic will be on those. So if you're like me and you have to park fairgrounds or get to park fairgrounds, I think taking the Matthews is a smarter way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, the Matthews kind of scares me a little bit.
I don't love it either. But
I don't mind bridges, but for some reason I go over that, I just get to lean.
Yeah.
I'm going over the top.
You think the Hart Bridge would be the same? Because
I know, but it's not. I feel fine on that one. I don't know what it is.
I feel more secure on the Green Monster than I do on the Matthews Bridge. Yeah, but I would say just make sure that you have an idea. Head down a little bit earlier than you normally would for a preseason game tomorrow. Most people that are fans are probably going to
be tailgating.
Exactly. So you want to get there early anyway. But for someone who likes to get there just a couple hours before, I would say also look at traffic. I think it's 511. Whether that's .com, I think it's 511.com, gives you the latest traffic updates. But most people nowadays, you can use your GPS too. Yeah. But just take a look at the map and have an idea of which route is the best, because things are definitely a little different.
Yeah, and this is kind of the point where we are. We're getting a new stadium, so this is going to be part of it. And I think that the exciting part, we've talked about this so much leading up to the stadium, but the way they're doing it, it's still full capacity this year, and that's great. You don't have to. So there may be some difficulties or maybe some things that change a little bit the way you get in, but you all get to go, and that's the bonus part. Next year, obviously, will be limited, but throughout the year, they'll give us updates if anything starts changing. And I've talked to the Jags a lot about, just media-wise, but also the fans coming in and what that may look like. So they're going to try and make it as easy as possible for everybody for you to still do it, but definitely check. We'll update everybody, but also check with the Jaguars, and they'll always have updates of the easiest ways to get to each gate and park and all of that.
And once you get in, it's good.
Oh yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that. That'd be a challenge. And if you had to navigate around and then get in, you're like, oh man, they got all this construction going on. No, it's going to be like, once you get in, it's like you're in the Truman Show, like you're in the bubble, like got nothing to worry about. You're all protected. You got all the booze, you got all the food, you got all the football you can handle.
By the way, FL511.com. I don't want to send people to the wrong place, but FL511.com. And while we're cleaning things up, it's the NASCAR package.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
I said Maserati, Lamborghini.
Yeah, you were close.
Cars,
I felt like it was a fast car or something.
You were correct. Yeah. Thanks to Brian for that update. NASCAR
to go, Brian.
Yeah.
Way to be on it.
That's
NASCAR package. That just means they're pinning their ears back and they're going to get the QB. Yeah, that's great.
I love that.
Me too.
I do wonder, we had TJ Watt been playing tomorrow night. I think all of us would be a little concerned, and certainly Highsmith as well. We'd be concerned.
Yeah.
Obviously,
like we need 7
Hertwig.
offensive linemen out there.
I'm worried about Hertwig, and he's not even playing.
Right.
So.
I feel like if I'm Mason Rudolph, if I'm Skylar Thompson, whomever gets the start, I assume Rudolph gets the start, but you see 41 and 44 out there. Like, you see Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker out there. Like, speaking of pinning their ears back, like, I'd be a little nervous if I'm him.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and I don't know how, it sounds like their offensive line has looked better. I talked about yesterday, I think it was yesterday, how last year they still had, I think, like 55 sacks or something allowed between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So they're definitely hoping for an improvement on their offensive line, too. And that's something that Pittsburgh had counted on for a long time. Their trenches in general were their strong suits, and they had to kind of reset everything on their offensive line. So they're figuring all of that out, too. So from what it sounds like, it looks improved. But yeah, you're going up against 2 really good pass rushers and
who've had excellent training camp.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they're worried about the middle at all, but
nor should they be as of now. All right, Taylor Dahl has a tangent when we return. Also, we will have some Liam Cohen for you. It is 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
Opened up by Lee and Kate's Glass, where winning begins.
Gentlemen, if you keep playing like this, I promise you, you will leave this field winners. Get in there.
1010XL.
That's what I'm talking about.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnik. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnikBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head-on. Throw axes at Live by Axe, or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your pool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
I'm Hacker, and I'll get you more Gator Chomps during the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. New episodes drop every Friday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history. The driver's last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
If a storm impacts our area, JEA is ready to respond. Our team of over 2,000 employees is prepared to move in when the storm moves on. Once restoration efforts begin, we won't stop until everyone is back online. And we'll keep you informed with real-time updates at JEA.com and the MyJEA app. We're ready for storm season and want you to be too. Visit JEA.com/storm to learn what you can do now to prepare.
Calling all poker players. The Best Bet Summer Swing Series kicks off August 18th at Best Bet Orange Park with a $200 no-limit hold'em and a $100,000 guarantee. Next stop, Best Bet St. Augustine with a $150,000 guaranteed poker tournament. Then wrap it up Labor Day weekend in Jacksonville with a massive $300,000 guarantee. Play all 3 events and swing for big winnings. Get all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. With construction at Everbank Stadium, there will be a few changes for tomorrow's game. Gate 4 on the southeast end zone is now a super gate, directing fans to the fan entertainment zone, south end zone, Daly's Place, and the south escalators. Wayfinding signs will be throughout the parking lots and stadium for direction assistance. It's 84 degrees at 3 o'clock, time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Hint, by the way, RJ, I'm waiting for a Riley Green or Ella Langley song for today. That is the concert du jour tonight. RJ's like, who are these people? Ella Langley or Riley Green? They do a duet together. They do a couple. But the one that they do, You Look Like You Love Me, that's mainly the song that Ella Langley, super popularity. It has been stuck in my head now like all week long. I'm like, I just need them to perform this song so I can get out of my head, please.
Yeah, that was a viral one on TikTok for sure. Like that, just the one "You Look Like You Love Me" part. Yep. That's the only reason I know that song, honestly. But I like it. When I was like, oh, this is a cute song. Yeah,
I missed that one.
Missed it.
That song.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I'm sure my girls listen to it constantly.
Basically, Ella Langley, as the singer, goes up to Riley Green in the bar and just tells him, "You look like you love me. I'm drunk. I want you to take me home. Let's go."
That's easy enough. Jeez.
So that's why.
Thanks, Ella. I don't have to do any work at all.
That's correct.
Great. Let's go.
Literally, she walks over with a beer for the guy, has a beer for herself, and is like, "Take me home." So I'll report back as to how they do that song in concert on Monday. All right, right now Taylor Dahl has a tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So we know all about the panic from camp around here and around the NFL in general, and that goes to whether it's somebody performing bad and rumors start flying because of that, injuries that get taken out of context. We know how that goes. We had those back at OTAs. But yesterday there was a lot going around Twitter that Garrett Nussmeier had torn his ACL. That obviously would be awful for the LSU Tigers. And I immediately, when you first start seeing it, of course, you're like, you see multiple reports of that and you're like, oh no, something must have happened. So Brian Kelly ended up speaking to media and he addressed it. And if you know me, you know I cannot stand Brian Kelly, but I had to play this clip because it actually did make me laugh the way that he addressed the media of trying to calm them down a little bit after some of this news was being said all around the social media platforms.
Just for the record, he has tendonitis, patella tendonitis. He does not have a torn ACL. We have not amputated his leg. He has a PO'd, and you know the initials that patella tendon. He was out there today throwing. Tomorrow he'll be back out, most likely in a practice situation. So I thought we'd calm everybody down. And a lot of that is due to his 2023 Osgood ladder surgery that he had, where the tendon was irritated back then. So this is just chronic. Peed-o'd it a little bit, and we'll calm it down, and the world is still round.
The world is still round, and they did not have to amputate his leg. But I'm sure, LSU fans have to be breathing a sigh of relief, because that's the last thing you want to hear right now, a month before college football, or less than a month before college football kicks off, that your quarterback tears his ACL.
Osgood Slaughter's still around. That was a knee ailment back in the 70s.
Not heard of that.
Yeah, it was like a tendonitis type thing.
Oh.
But think about it. Rayshawn Slaughter just did what? He tore his patella. You don't think his tendon hurt a little bit prior to? That's what it means. So thank goodness it's not serious, because that is a massive and a nasty injury. ACL is one thing, right? Because you could just replace the ligament, the tendon, and that's a thick, ropey. You just gotta try to heal that thing together and piece it together. But
we've seen multiple gruesome leg injuries over the last just few days between Slater and then certainly last night with the Ravens. Yeah, and then there's. The C.J. Gardner-Johnson as well, whether that turns out to be something torn or not.
Because originally that was another one that was reported ACL and then saying, never mind, not ACL.
Well, look.
It also could be worse than an ACL.
Right. Every time, the muscles, they will make your attachments weaker. They can, right? So that's if you get too much for your body, something's going to give. You're either going to tear the muscle, you're going to tear a ligament, you tear a tendon, or it just, there's so much torque. When your knee, if they slowed it in a camera, you'd be like, holy cow, there's a lot of torque. But when you tear your ACL and it hyperextends, it might not look like anything, but you slowed it down, you're like, there's major trauma. Your femur's crashing into your tibia, it's ripping your ACL, and it just makes a mess in there. See, I can play an orthopedic doctor on TV, man. Let me tell you, give me a soap opera gig. Let's go. But thank goodness it's not.
For sure.
That
I hate
bad.
for Tigers fans, for Garrett Nussmeier, and I think that for Brian Kelly, because we've talked so much about Brian Kelly and what needs to happen this season for people. People are getting impatient at LSU because
they win national championships. And he kind of went on his whole rant about how it was hard to recruit at Notre Dame and it's going to be so much easier at LSU, and he'll be able to, he wants to be able to play this tougher schedule, and he's 4-7 against top 25 teams since he's been at LSU. And he, by the way, only played 2 top 25 teams last year. At the point that he was playing the team, they were only 2 last year, which I didn't realize that. And it was Alabama who beat them by 30 points, and then they barely lost to, they barely beat Ole Miss, I believe it was. So I feel like he had a pretty easy schedule last year. Garrett, we saw look good. What does that look like this year? And that puts a lot on Garrett Nussmeier, but also Brian Kelly himself.
He just doesn't seem trustworthy.
Is that because when he first got the job at LSU, he faked a Southern accent? My family.
No, well, that's part of it. You just kind of, I don't know, his whole aura, it's like, man, I don't know how you could trust him.
I don't want.
Maybe the players like him, but I
wouldn't
don't
want
know.
my son to play for him. There's the long list of coaches I would want ahead of him. Poor Taylor today, she's had to discuss, and all week, Aaron Rodgers. And now Brian Kelly today as well.
I was thinking about you, and Brooke was like, no, Aaron's been great. He's fitting in. They all like him.
Taylor was rolling her eyes.
I was like, okay, it's fake. He's fake.
Which we still don't
We'll see 2 weeks in, he'll be screaming at everybody and throwing his helmet at someone.
Honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
We had the Chiefs come here for the preseason last year. That's when Hollywood Brown suffered that awful clavicle injury. And everyone was freaking out about whether Taylor Swift was going to be here, which she wasn't. And now I wonder if people are excited to maybe meet Aaron Rodgers' wife.
Whoever the wife is.
Yeah.
Whatever she is.
Some woman named Brittany, from what we understand.
Tay-Tay-Ao 2.0, right?
Oh, my God.
I do think that social media is a dangerous place when it comes to that kind of thing.
Definitely.
Now, because literally anyone can say, oh, I saw Trevor Lawrence in a boot, which is not true. That is not going on social media. But anyone can say that. Yeah. And if the wrong person spreads that, and by wrong, I mean someone with credibility, if that person spreads it, then everybody believes it.
Yeah.
And so it's a very tricky thing for coaches to navigate, especially, for instance, like a Mike Norvell, who has closed off everything to media and to fans. And so you just don't know really at that point who to trust. And so, back in the day when it was a little bit more open and access was flowing, then you didn't have these types of scare tactics.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think that if Norvell did open, for example, you have the beat reporters or, whoever that cover that team that people rely on and trust, and that's the information they would go to. But when you close everything off, people don't know. So all you have to do is have one person with a decent amount of followers tweet and be like, oh, I just heard it was an ACL. I just heard it was a knee. I just heard so-and-so, like whatever the case may be. And then it it can travel very quickly, especially on Twitter.
Absolutely.
It travels very quickly.
Well, especially the teams and the fan bases that don't like you. They'd be more than happy to spread the lies of an injury, to see if that does anything. It's a vicious world out there.
Yeah. Tom and I were talking about Blue's tweet that he said moles
all his
have
notes
told him. Well, he did have the white blank picture. And he
notes
said,
from Noel's practice.
Yeah, these are my notes from practice. And then he ended up today saying moles have told him that Thomas Castellanos is leaving the pocket too early and doesn't look good.
That's funny.
And I had to double check because when I read moles, I was like, Knowles?
So that's funny. I saw that tweet and I thought somebody's name that covered them was Moles or something. I was like, I don't know who Moles is, but he's critical.
But that would be somebody that works for the team potentially that is able to see practice that has communicated that to Rick. But I'm sure more on that is coming up with Into the Night with Rick a little bit later. But right now we have lunch to give away.
We do. Free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010 and you can get free lunch for Chick-fil-A. Let's say caller number 5.
And that is not a rumor. That is
not
fact.
Rumor. This is
caller
real.
number 5, 641-1010. We've got more to do on the other side. It is 1010XL on 2.5 FM.
Lee and Kate's Glass.
Friday on Helmets and Heels.
He's our Big Mac.
Woo! It's Smash Mouth football, baby.
Tom McManus brings his big opinions to Jaguars Today.
Every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010 XL.
Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
You can't go inside your home team's locker room, so Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline goes there for you.
Work on three, 1, 2, 3.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Tailgaters parking season passes are on sale now. Secure your Jaguar season parking today. Enjoy indoor restrooms, a full-service bar and grill, access 4 hours before kickoff. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and book your space today.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it. And send them a Coen floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at CoenFlowers.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet, quick feet, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go. Summer means fun in all forms. Longer days and more chances to soak up the sun and the fun. Budweiser and Bud Light reminding you to drink wiser. Hydrate between beers and don't sweat it. It's the best way to get home safely.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I was all but 22, I think at the time. I'd been out on the road, lonely at night, and it'd been a while. So it was on my mind.
So this is Ella Langley.
I assume so.
Yeah, eventually you'll hear Riley Green. But yeah, this is one of their duets that they do.
I could use some of that.
It's great.
This is great.
No, really. This is my kind of tune to take a nap to. Seriously. But that's all right. I'm sure they'll both look great singing it, right?
Yeah, there's been I don't necessarily follow.
Is she the big bell bottom? Like, is that her?
That's Lainey Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people in the country music channels, they like to put rumors out about who's dating whom if they're not married kind of thing. And so with Riley Green, because he's, at least according to, from what I know, he's single. So people are always attaching people to him.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, and they do this with Morgan Wallen too. Like it was Megan Maroney for a while with Morgan Wallen, and then with Riley Green because he did these songs with her, Ella Langley. It was Ella, but I mean, again, I don't follow any of that stuff. I could care less. I just want to hear you sing
Their music.
Yeah. And play your instruments, and I'll have a good time.
Were the rumors like this song was out and then rumors started? Oh,
yeah, of course.
Well, it's like lead actors and actresses. You never know because they got to put on a show for the film coming out.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then they have these relationships. They may be real. They may not be real.
Yeah.
They may be just flings so you can promote a movie. And then you're gone. You know, who knows, you know?
Have the dad bods ever had a female singer do a duet with you?
No, my band's really, like I've had people say, no women, but even guys like, hey, man, can I come? I'm like, man, my band just doesn't, they don't want nobody else singing. They don't. They're like, no, we don't do that. I was like, all right, whatever. I don't care. I mean, you can come up and sing. It wouldn't bother me at all, honestly.
Don't worry,
anybody.
I won't.
Someone just snatches the
But
mic.
the band's like, nah, we don't want anybody else. But
Can't mess up the flow.
I don't know. I have no idea. Who knows? You never know what can happen.
Yeah,
down the
I think
road,
that's
you know
very
what I mean?
true.
It's based off of timing. You know, it's just like it's Trevor Lawrence with his receivers, Aaron Rodgers with his receivers. He wants them to go a certain, run a certain pattern, a certain route, and it's all based off of timing. I think the band is very similar to that as well.
Yeah, don't send your third string running back down the sideline for a deep pass at the end of the game. I get it. And don't throw it to him either.
All right,
it's not open.
Don't throw it to him.
Let's get into some Liam Coen, who met with media after practice yesterday. By the way, yesterday was a very light day, no pads.
Yep.
They did certainly a lot of situational work, which was great to see. That it feels like procedurally pretty good outside of maybe one false start that I saw. Other than that, it looked good. And it wasn't nearly as hot. It was overcast. And again, our temperatures have cooled off just a little bit since training camp began. So it was almost felt like we were in the air conditioning out there in comparison. But so Liam Coen was asked, we talk about how he said everyone's going to play. He was asked, how important is it for Trevor to get out there tomorrow night and see how he does in the offense?
That's right. I mean, that's so much, right? It's like we have moving parts and pieces on the offensive line that we, new ones obviously multiple different receivers, quarterback playing in a first-year system. All of that is kind of what points to that. And look, if we had 3 joints and 2 days of work by each of those joints, then we probably wouldn't be playing. But that's just kind of where we're at. So we've got to go and probably take advantage of these opportunities.
I meant to tell you, Tom, before that answer.
I always knew there was something funky about that, Coach.
I meant to tell you by joints.
It all makes sense.
Joint practices.
The shades hiding under the hat. Yeah, I get it now, Coach.
Joint practices. Yeah, I've noticed that this regime, especially because they are younger, they take words and they shorten them. So, like, opportunities, I had never known that opportunities was too difficult a word to say, but now it's all ops.
Everything's abbreviated
and
now.
then joint practices, joints. So when Liam Coen says joints, people, it's not 420. So you got to think like
when
that.
they say on the grass, they mean on the field.
Yes.
Right. But they like to say, on the grass. Well, okay, whatever. Football field.
Yeah, I have learned a lot since being in the office with Jacob now. Like, he'll say stuff, and I'm like, what? And he's like, Taylor, we got to get you up to speed. I was like, I'm not even that old, but, like, that difference, I mean, I guess I'm 12, 13 years older than them, and so that even their lingo is a lot different than the way that I use words.
If you did have joint practices, you probably wouldn't play as much in the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just because you got the work done against them in the practice, and it's pretty lively. We've seen it. Tampa last year, they come in every year.
For sure.
With the Miami, they're going down there this year. That'll be spirited practices, and then once
the Tampa one would have been fun this year.
Yeah, wouldn't that
Yes,
been great? They
that
should
would have
have.
been, that would have been filled with storylines. By the way, Frank Frangie weighed in and said Riley would be only so lucky to have Ella Langley.
Oh, Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
A little chomp in there, buddy. All right.
All right, let's get back to Liam Coen. No more joint references, I promise. What will Liam be evaluating going into tomorrow night's game?
Yeah, that was exactly what I just said to the group just now, was what the evaluation will be fundamentals, alignment, assignment. Obviously, situational football is going to come up, as we know, but we're about, we're playing a physical team, a team that's been known for physicality, regardless if their first guys are in or not, right? That's just how they've played the game for a long time. And so that will be a great test for all of our groups that are going to play to see, kind of where we're at from physicality standpoint. It's live tackling that we all know is, it's hard to get that in a practice setting at times. So I think that'll be valuable for us as well.
Yeah, he was asked specifically if he was going to talk to the team about that FAST acronym that he has, and that's what he just discussed as far as those different things. And so, yes, that's what he was saying. I just talked to the team out there to finish practice about that.
Think about that, though, too. Like, you heard Brooke Prior earlier say they were tackling to the ground in Pittsburgh. We haven't seen that too much. Some guys have hit the ground, but it's not like that they were tackling to the ground. So that'll be, and he's right. You got to get used to that speed and getting people on the ground and not just, you get in such a bad habit of tapping them off. Like, I made the tackle. Well, you might have made the tackle. You know what I mean? Maybe he bounced off you. Maybe he stiff-armed you to the ground, or maybe he didn't wrap up and, you got knocked off somehow. So it's a great test to see where we're at. Pursuit as well. Angles, when they take off around the corner, like, where's my backside coming? Are they running all the way to the ball? No loafing. We used to call loafs, which were bad things. That means you're jogging to the ball. And then when you get there, you're getting there with bad intentions, right? To leave a mark and break some pinkies like we saw recently.
That was not.
Yeah, I do wonder, Tom, because this defense, we talked about them going after the ball so much, and obviously on the offensive side, the ball security drills. Yeah. But on the defensive side, they've been really trying to take that ball away. But you have to put that with tackling. They haven't been, like you said, live tackling in practice. And so that allows them, because they don't have to tackle, they can really go after the ball. You have to put those together at some point in time.
You're absolutely right. You got to secure the tackle. Unless if they're holding it like a loaf of bread, you go for the ball, because it's going to be outside the body. But other than that, you got to secure that tackle. And the second guy coming, he's the one that's got to lift up that elbow and try to punch that ball out.
There definitely are times in games where you're like, just tackle. What are you doing? You can tell the player's going too hard of just trying to get the ball out, and then someone's getting extra yards. The ball never comes out. So putting those things together is important. And I also think the pass rush, Tommy, we've talked about it a lot when it comes to camp, where the you're like, oh, that would have been a sack. Oh, that would have been a sack. seeing those actually start to play out and what that looks like against Trevor Lawrence, but also our edges and both Trayvon and Josh Hines-Allen. But beyond that, seeing what pressures they can actually create on the outside, too.
Absolutely. And finishing, right? Pressures only mean so much. You got to get some hits on that QB and really get them rattled and off that pocket spot, so they can't throw in rhythm. And again, that's a big part of like tomorrow night. Like you got practice players and then you got gamers. And sometimes the practice guys show up in the game. They've looked good in practice. They look good in the game. Sometimes they'll look good in practice, and they'll be like, man, what happened to you in the game? And then sometimes it'll be the other way around. You're not that great in practice, but, man, this guy comes to play. Come game time, he's making plays all over the place. Or nobody can tackle him. Or he's blocking everybody, or whatever the case may be. That's what's great about getting into the preseason, especially for guys trying to make a mark, whether trying to win a starting job or just making the team. Now's your chance to show that, hey, what I've done in practice is legit, and I'm going to show it to you that I'm doing it in a game as well. And then they add that all together, and then they give you that little, grade, and they evaluate you, and you figure out if you're good enough to be on the team.
Yeah. Is that you during rehearsals? Are you a gamer when it comes to the band?
Oh, totally. I say my prayers. I thank the good Lord, and then I say, it's rock and roll, hoochie coo. I take a couple shots, and off we go. No, I don't. I just drink a couple beers, but I got to loosen it up somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I just feel like rehearsing with the band in front of no one has to be just so incredibly different than actually when you go to perform. Like I feel
you get
like
that crowd energy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. You almost got to not get too excited because you scream. You sound bad. You know what I mean? Like you almost got to try to keep it all together. Like I think I told you the first time I ever did a live gig, I drank too much. Like all of us did except the drummer. And he was so mad. He was like, I'm not doing this. We're not going to practice. And then you guys, get too liquored up and you can't perform. And I was like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I get it.
He's trying to keep everyone in rhythm too. And he's like, you guys are wild.
You guys are all screwing it up. You're forgetting the words. He's missing it. And we're all like, all right, we'll tone it down a little bit. But
have you ever played the drums, by the way?
I've attempted many times. Yeah. When I was in high school, that was everybody I hung around were musicians in some form. So I've tried. I'm not the most, when it comes to instrument wise, musically inclined.
Yeah. I'm not that great with instruments. I've been strumming a guitar at home trying to do some things, but no, those my drummer, Derek, he's pretty phenomenal, man. He's been playing in bands forever. He's got it together.
Yeah, you got to be good as a drummer.
Oh,
It's so important. All right, back to the Jaguars. Chuma Edoga, I don't know if he's the right guard, if he's the right tackle, or if maybe he's a swing tackle at this point in time. Here's Liam Coen, the head coach, on how the camp has gone so far for Chuma Edoga.
Yeah, he's done a nice job being able to go, in and out, right? And with Patrick coming off the back and being able to get those valuable reps. And look, it's still competition. That's the beautiful part of it is we don't play for a month, right? And so you have got now the install is in. We have done with the installs on both sides of the ball. So now for the next 3 weeks, we can hone those fundamentals, techniques, concepts, and schemes, and then also play with rotations. Play with different guys in different spots a little bit, and then as obviously you want to get in about 10 days at least, maybe as close as you can to be able to give them ops to compete, but also tighten it in so we know maybe who our 5, 6 are going to be. But yeah, I've been happy with Chuma. He's a good pro.
I tell you what, he's one of the guys I was just talking about. He's looked really good in practice. If he puts on a good performance in the game, like just a physical Mullen type guard that's really done, he'll be your starting guard. He will, and they'll figure out McCary some other way, whether he plays one of the tackles or backs up or whatever. But you cannot deny that Chuma Edoga, at least in practice, is one of the 5 best linemen you have.
Yep.
I think so anyway. Now, I want to see it in the game. And again, if he shows, like, hey, man, I'm not just a good practice. Look at me in this game. And he's played in the pros for a few years, so it's not like he's never played. He's not a rookie. But if he shows that transitions to a game-like speed, I'm telling you right now, he's probably your starting right guard.
Yeah, and I think when we were talking to Brooke Prior, and she mentioned that the amount of tipped balls that they've had, and she mentioned who was it that she said? She said a specific name, but one of their draftees, I think she said it was
IA Black or YA Black.
Black. Yeah. Yep. That is something because early on in camp there were several of those. I remember one of the ones I went to. There were like 3 or 4 of those at the line. So we haven't seen as many since kind of early on. I think it was like that second week where I saw a ton of those. But it'll be interesting to see because clearly that's something that they're being taught there is get up in the faces. And if they're winning any of that and can get their hands up and those tips and some of that, we want to see those guys on the interior, these offensive line, be able to keep them far away to not do that.
We saw some batted balls this camp. Not a ton, but probably a handful, right?
Yep. Good for the defense.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. I mean, listen, what's the deal? If you can't get any further, what are you supposed to do? Get your hands up. Yeah, for sure. And then they're supposed to punch you in the stomach. So you don't put your hands up. Crack you in the ribs.
Tickle them.
Tickle them. That's it, Taylor. Like a lobster. Just tickle it. Tickle that big boy and his arms will come down. There you go.
Have you been lobstering before?
Oh, yeah. Remember I told you I tried to grab him by the antennas. It never worked.
You weren't quite familiar with the tickle stick and the
I thought that antenna just would come right, their head would come right with it, but it never seemed to work that way. It'd come right off.
Yeah.
I'm glad they
Spiny
grow another one, right?
Yeah, obviously more difficult. The Maine lobster, they don't have the same type of antenna. Yeah, they have more of the claws and things like that. Better meat in the the Maine lobster as far as that part of it goes. All right, we've got the Terminix Pest of the Day for you on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010X on 82.5 FM.
It's a Helmets and Heels. Lee and Kate's Glass Friday.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione Law.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through August 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Make a statement as summer winds down with luxury. Experience the art of progress at Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Jacksonville. Come test drive the sleek and powerful G70 or the versatile and refined GV80 SUV that's designed to elevate your journey. Enjoy exclusive offers and flexible financing. Showroom on Atlantic Boulevard or learn more at genesisofnortheastjacksonville.com for all life's journeys. Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Jacksonville. Welcome to the family. Experience the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra as they bring to life the legendary sound of Journey.
Took the midnight train going anywhere.
Feel the power of Faithfully. Rock out to Wheel in the Sky and sing every word of Don't Stop Believing. Friday, August 8th at the historic Florida Theater. One epic night of the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra featuring Journey. Get your tickets at floridatheater.com.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to American-Electrical.com and see how they can help you.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I do not know this song.
I don't know this one either.
Nah.
RJ, who you got for us?
It's just stuff I find in the system. This is Harry
RJ
Styles.
Special.
Harry
There you go.
I was just
Go,
talking
Harry.
to a guy that works for the Jaguars, and he was telling me about some of the great concerts that he's been to with his kids. And one of them, kids are not young children. One of them was Harry Styles. He said, put on an amazing performance.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he does.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
All right, today's Terminix Pest of the Day is always brought to you by Terminix. They take care of all the pest issues at our house, as well as Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, where I'll be tonight, and a whole lot more of your favorite event venues around town. If you have mosquito issues, ant issues, cockroach issues, wasp issues, anything like that, Terminix will come take care of it. You can find them online at terminix.com. That's terminix.com. All right, y'all. We haven't talked about this all week. You know this story, though. The sex toys being thrown on the court at WNBA games has to stop. And I say this, it seemed funny the first time around, and I get that. But now we're on incident number 4.
Can we say the word or no?
I'm not going to.
I don't know if that was one of the words you can't say on radio.
I recommend not saying it as well. But this time, the fourth object hit a guy. Yeah, the fourth time one was thrown. It hit a guy and his 9-year-old niece.
Oh, no.
Like, that is so incredibly inappropriate. So now the 18-year-old ended up being arrested. And I just feel like it was maybe, like I said, funny originally. Now you're just lame. You're copycatting other people. Yeah. And it's like now you're getting arrested. So it's not worth it.
What was the original reason for throwing this sex toy, quote unquote, on the court?
I'm going to surmise that it's because they're saying that a lot of the WNBA players are dating each other.
Okay.
Or dating
They're
other
like,
women.
here, we'll help you.
It's okay. I mean, like in hockey, they throw what? Octopuses out on the ice or something like that? Yeah, they throw all types of stuff out. Octopi. That's
yeah.
Stop.
So
I do
think
something else. And I do think I would be lying if I said I haven't laughed at some of the videos that I've seen of it, or that some of the memes recently. I heard Dan reading something earlier, and it was like
I saw it yesterday too. If the next person who throws one of these onto the court, you are going to be forced to watch another 10 WNBA games.
So it's just there's
Has anybody tripped
things.
over it? Like the girls? That'd be fun.
I've seen them like kick them out of the way. I haven't seen them fall over them.
Wow.
But and that is when I was telling a friend about it because they had no idea any of this was happening. So I was filling them in on the situation in general. And the first remark was, "There's kids at these games," and I didn't even really honestly think about it like that at first. I was just kind of like, it's, and it is kind of going overboard. There's a certain thing where it's like, okay, you do it a couple times, it's funny. At this point, it's getting played out. It's also just like not even surprising anymore. Right. And so, but yeah, their first comment was like, there's kids there, how does a dad explain what is
Cover their face.
Close
Real
your
quick.
eyes.
See how quick I did that? Just cover their eyes. Don't look, Jimmy.
I know, literally
Jimmy,
earlier
just
I
don't
was
look.
like,
Well, this girl got hit in the head with it, so she's
right,
like,
this little
"Whoa."
9-year-old girl, like
Nothing.
that's just
Ice cream cones.
weird. Like that's just
Shirt
weird.
launch, the
And
t-shirt.
then you have the questions too of like these things are not free, so like you're going to spend
spending
your
money
own money
just to
and
throw them on the court.
And then do they get thrown away at that point in time?
They're kind of dirty, I would think.
I mean, all I know is I never thought in 2025 part of my job would be to read about a sex toy arrest that was made.
That was, very.
How would you like to be the maintenance worker that's got to collect them? Go get them.
Well,
give me a bag.
Depending.
Maintenance worker may be like,
excited.
you just saved me some money. Wait, no. I assume that they get taken into evidence because if someone gets arrested, that goes.
Right.
And so how did they end up finding, I guess, people around were like, this guy did it? Or
I'm assuming that there's, videos within the arenas or nowadays, any crime that you commit, someone's got a cell phone that they can catch you with that.
But it is, I mean, it is, if you hit somebody with it, it's technically assault.
Absolutely.
So especially if you would have hit one of the players, then you're probably taking it to a whole nother, you're risking that at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of like, I mean, like women throw like panties and bras at like rock
As a
country,
matter of fact,
right?
we saw
Lauren's
Riley.
like, actually,
I wasn't close enough, but we were at the AMP in St. Augustine. We were in like one of the 200 sections, and someone in the pit that was obviously up close and personal took her bra off, it was pink, threw it up to Riley Green, the guy I'm seeing tonight.
Yeah.
Not seeing like that, but you know. And he laughed, and he played the entire song with this
it hanging.
bra. Yeah, it was hanging off the guitar.
I've seen that many times. I saw one where
That's
it was
not
like
assault. It can't hurt.
Yeah.
No, right? Yeah, strangled by a bra.
Yeah, he's like, oh God, I'm choking. I saw one. I've seen in person. I can't remember what concert this was, but someone threw. So girls have like just the sticky like straplet. So it's just like sticky ones.
I call them sticky boobs.
Sticky boobs
Right,
are what they
right,
are.
right, yeah.
Someone threw one of those, and the singer picked it up, and he's like, "Is this a chicken cutlet?" And
They
the
do
whole
look like
crowd
those
was
things,
laughing
Which
so
I love that the dad of three.
Oh
girls
no, I
knows
see
that.
them all. I'm not all over, but I know exactly what they are because I hear, "Hey, Mom, do you got any extra?"
Yeah,
whatever.
I will say, if you wear those when it's warm outside, like the stickiness doesn't work as well, and so you might have an issue. You know.
I tell you, guys got it easy, man. Just shave our heads and put on some clothes, and we're good.
Somebody did say that Sophie Cunningham got hit by the
I
third
did
one that
see
was thrown on the
Yeah,
court.
because she had tweeted, like, stop doing this. And then she quote tweeted herself and was like, well, this didn't age well.
Yeah.
Because, I think it hit, like, the bottom of her leg or something along those lines. But just, anyway, that's our PSA. I'm sure we're not the first radio station to do that. Just stop doing that.
No, you are, but that's okay.
One quick note when it comes to college football / the NFL. I'm sure y'all saw this. Archie Manning, the grandfather of Arch Manning, who, of course, famously played at Ole Miss, he said that Arch Manning will definitely return to Texas for the 2026 season. Most people thought that after 2025, Arch would weigh his options and either play one more year for the Longhorns, depending on how this season goes, or enter into the NFL draft. But Archie, his dad, said, nope, he's definitely not doing that, and he's coming back for the 2026 season.
Yep.
Do you feel like that's stepping the grandfather's bounds? Like maybe Arch should be able to come out and say that, or is this too early?
I'm guessing conversations have probably been had of what plans are and how the Mannings do things or how the Mannings do things. But it is, I feel like it's interesting because if, let's say, and this is obviously very hypothetical, but if Texas goes on and wins the national championship and Arch wins the Heisman, do you not want to enter the draft at that point? And I don't know if you can say for sure, no matter what, he's going to play another year. But to me, it must have been conversations involved.
All right, so I'm just thinking of the other side. Quinn Ewers, he left $8 million on the table to go into the draft. Now he wasn't going to be a first round or number one pick or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know the exact amount of money that he would have left on the table.
I thought I read it was 8.
Well, he would have only had one more year to play, so I don't know if another school would have paid him $8 million because he would have left Texas, obviously, to go somewhere else.
I thought that was the story, that he could have stayed and got a big payday from Texas.
Let's say Carson Beck makes $4.5 million or so from Miami, so I would imagine Quinn Ewers would have gotten more in that ballpark.
Okay,
if
so
not
then what does Arch get? Can he get more than that? And if he can do it in 2 years, so think about it. 12 plus 12 is 24. Cam Ward signed a $30 million contract, his rookie contract, over 5 years, right? Or 4 years plus the, you know what I mean? Maybe you do stay and collect all that money. I don't know.
But if you're the first overall pick, then you're getting a lot more than $4 million.
Yeah, but he would get more than 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think he could probably get close to 10, wouldn't you, if you're Arch Manning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Manning name does add
I know
something
Lenore Sellers, the story came out that his dad said that his son was offered $8 million, even though he wasn't in the transfer portal, but ignore that part of it, to leave. But Lenore's has 2 more years of eligibility at least remaining.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wouldn't imagine Quinn Ewers would have gotten that much money for just one season.
Well, what did Cam Ward get? Didn't he get like 9.5? Didn't Miami pay him?
I don't think it was that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember how much he got. It was a good amount, but
yeah. Anyway, I could see. I mean, look, you're going to make more money in the long run in the NFL.
Absolutely, especially
but
if
that
you can
first
get
rookie contract, you might be able to chip away at some of that. You know
sure.
what I mean?
And if you're more comfortable, and let's look at it too, if one of the worst teams like the Browns, if they end up tanking, does Arch Manning want to play for them? This at least gives him sends a message to the team saying, I may not necessarily come out, so don't try and tank for me.
Well, and don't think that.
But it's also too early to tank for him because we don't know exactly how he's going to be.
And don't think the Mannings don't know, aren't planting that,
That's what
trying to throw that in
with
there.
Eli once upon a time.
Absolutely.
All right, one segment to go here on Helmets and Heels. Happy Friday, everybody. It's 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Lee and Kate's Glass Friday on Helmets and Heels.
From humble origins on Beach Boulevard to the grandeur of the old homestead, Takaloo has bucked the odds, selling cheap tacos and even cheaper beers since 2008. I'll be the first to lament that nothing is cheap anymore, but much has not changed in 17 years. Bangin' shrimp still rocks, margaritas flow day and night, and we love to see old friends and make new friends every day. You can still spin the wheel or sit outside on the patio in the sun with friends and family. It's been a ton of fun, and we have you, Jacksonville, to thank for 17 years. Takaloo in Jacksonville Beach.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here, and if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hi, I'm John Haney from Clearwater Gutters and Drainage. After heavy rains, the problems are obvious. Mulch blown out of your beds, water standing around your foundation, and that fancy new crater back behind your bushes. Let Clearwater Seamless Gutters help you solve the problem spots.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters.
And drainage too.
Find out more at clearwaterjacks.com.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
If a birthday or anniversary is looming in your immediate future, take care of it today by ordering a floral arrangement online at CoenFlowers.com. You'll be the star of their day. This is Frank Frangie. Take it from me. An arrangement from Coen Flowers works like magic.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
So how excited are you guys to watch probably half of Shedeur Sanders playing in a game tonight?
Yeah, I want to see what he can do, man. I don't know. Who knows? It's Can he transition his game? That's the story. Now, they did grab another, they got 6 QBs in Cleveland right now.
Yeah.
They grabbed the Tyler Huntley or something like
Tyler
that.
Huntley.
Yeah. They got a lot of guys injured. But, yeah, I hope he does well. I don't know. We'll see if his I don't know. I wasn't that impressed when I watched him throw, in different, I didn't watch a lot of his games, but off season he looked all right. But he seems to be doing okay up there. So
if he performs poorly, how much more of a story is it that Travis Hunter won the Heisman by playing receiver and Shador was his quarterback, right?
Right.
I think that's part of the story. And we didn't even talk about that, but getting to see Travis Hunter play on both sides of the ball tomorrow night, I feel like the entire nation will pay more attention to Jaguars, Jaguars, I should say, for that very reason. I'll be at the concert tonight, so I won't be watching, but I will read the report from the Browns tomorrow as far as how each quarterback did.
I do like that Shador asked that his dad don't show up to camp until later.
That Dion,
which
not
I
show
like.
up.
I like that.
He told him I'm not getting a ton of reps, and I'm also not where I want to be. So I'm sure Dion brings a media circus with him. I think he wants to stay focused. I do think that's a good thing for Shador Sanders. It's also got to be hard, Taylor. Literally, they drafted a guy right before you in Dylan Gabriel and brought in those other 2 veteran quarterbacks prior to that. And again, Deshaun Watson's already there. Tyler, although he's not going to play this year. Tyler Huntley, they just brought in. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Oh, yeah. And I think just the pressure alone of being Deion Sanders' son adds that. And I think that when it comes to Shador, it'll be interesting to kind of see how the career goes for him, just because it was a year ago people were talking about him going number 1 and he just kept falling and falling. And I was with you, Tommy, last year when we were ranking him. I didn't even put Shador in my top 5. I was just I'm not there. I was never there with it. And we've heard a ton of people say that Travis Hunter made Shador Sanders also. So it will be interesting to see if Shador's terrible, then people are going to say, okay, well, yeah, it was all Travis Hunter. But if he ends up being able to be at least serviceable, even a backup, people will say, okay, maybe it didn't translate completely to the NFL, but that it's also the Browns, and that sucks because the history of the Browns has been ruining quarterbacks pretty much. And even when we talk about Baker Mayfield there, when he had that glimpse of good and then everything fell apart, and then now you're seeing what he's doing in Tampa. So how much is that organizationally wise, and is that going to be kind of an excuse built into some of the stuff with him?
Well, I think with Sanders too, look, if I'm a QB in today's game and I'm not drafted high, I look at Brock Purdy. I mean, think about that. When he got drafted, he's like, I'm going to make this team. They just Trey Lance. They gave up all that for Trey Lance. They grabbed me the last pick of the draft. I'm just going to go. I got nothing to lose. I'm just going to go in there and try my best, see what happens. Look what happens.
Yeah.
And so, now I'm not saying that Sanders is him, but I'm saying, you don't know just because Dylan got drafted or you got Flacco or whoever. If you can show that you can run that offense and not make mistakes and be a good player in that system, right? He don't have to be a great quarterback. He's got to be a good quarterback in that system that they can trust him. But we'll see if that happens. But
I think the 49ers system is slightly better than the Browns system. But
still, you got to deliver.
They have weapons there too, and I think it's probably the best thing. Kenny Pickett and Gabriel are dealing with injuries right now, so if Shador has any chance, this is your chance to go prove it. You get 50%. He said he's playing 50% of the game, and so Stefanski did. So there is your opportunity to show people that they made a mistake is what you're proving at this point. You made a mistake by not drafting me higher than where I was drafted.
No disrespect to Kenny Pickett, but if he's not better than Kenny Pickett, he does not deserve to be on that team.
Yeah.
That is true. By the way, speaking of Brock Purdy, I saw that he and his wife welcomed their baby into the world. I want to say a little girl recently. Yeah. And I thought it was cool because neither one of them announced that she was pregnant at any point in time. All they did was just announce.
Surprise.
Yeah, they just announced that the baby was born, and I thought that was kind of cool. Yep. Yeah, I think as far as Steelers-Jags tomorrow night, we know most of the Steelers, the key players are not playing, but for this offense, the reason that these guys want to play the Jaguars, the reason they want to play is this is a new offense. There are not a lot of new pieces. Procedurally, things need to go well, and they also just need to get the feel of playing at Everbank Stadium, and hopefully they bring more juice than the team a year ago did. Yeah.
Players want to play. They just don't want to play that long in the preseason. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but they do want to get out there. They want to go out there and feel it and hit somebody and play the game. And
do you want to hit somebody right now? Is that how juiced up you are?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But I'm getting there. Still, I got 4 hours still. So I got a nap and a good meal in front of me still before I get too excited. But yeah, you want to get out there and perform, so they're no different. And again, it's the preseason, so you just don't want to play too long, Doug Whitell was telling a story. He had to play Dave Weidell's brother, he was on our show last night, and he was like, man, I was in Denver, and I was playing in the third quarter, and I kept looking over my shoulders like, I'm starting this year. Like, why am I still out here? You know, it's kind of funny. But,
That is.
yeah, get him in, get him out, and hopefully everyone comes out okay.
Yeah, speaking of get them in, get them out.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
We've had some very interesting conversations on our show today, Hayes.
Yeah.
It's Friday. You can
So
tell.
coming up on the Francis show,
Hayes wants no part of that.
yeah,
We had to talk about what's been going on with the WNBA, but we're not going to talk to you about that. We know that the Jag starters will play at least a little bit tomorrow. After Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, give me some players you want to see.
running backs, I'd say the rookie running backs will be exciting to see what they can do in this sort of environment. And, that safety competition, Eric Murray is going to be one of them. They can, that ore is ridiculous on the depth chart. He's a starter. And, so I'm interested in seeing who steps up there. And, Kaiser, is a player that I'm intrigued to see what he can do. So a lot of great storylines, and fans remember to be patient as you're getting there. But once we're there, it'll all be a lot of fun.
We don't talk about the linebacker position, like as far as set positions. I mean, obviously Foyer, but is any of the other two set, you think?
No, I think they're pretty open.
Wow,
so it
that's
should be
exciting.
fun.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
Yeah. And then they all bring sort of different things.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be exciting to see, how it goes in this next month before the Panthers roll in. So, we'll talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show and get into some Gators and Knowles as well. So, should be a fun Frangie Show.
Good luck chatting Knowles.
Yeah, all those Knowles notes you
We're going to talk about last year.
Last year it is. All right, that'll do it for Hayes and the crosstalk. Look, I do think that it's going to be fun tomorrow night for sure. And as far as the fans haven't been to Everbank Stadium, and for some of them in a while, and the construction, seeing the new building as far as where the Jags employees will go across the street is nice. And then, of course, the Four Seasons being developed. Like, if you haven't been downtown, it will look a lot different, which is very cool. And like he said, be patient.
I feel like maybe tailgaters area is the way to park, and then come in through that gate might be a better way to go for people. You know what I mean?
Again,
the south end zone area.
Look at the map. Certainly Gate 4 is that super gate we talked about. But look at a map and have an idea of where you're going, and obviously have an idea of where you're parking in advance. And certainly it's going to be a fun environment, even if the starters only play a little bit. It's still football.
Oh, and that's what this is the point. By preseason game 3, people are like, okay, we need football. But you're still in that excited because for a lot of people, this is their first time seeing Travis Hunter at all. And you'll get to see him on both sides of the ball, or just in general, Trevor Lawrence. You get that excitement anytime you feel like that football season's really back.
Great for a date night, great for family night.
Oh, and it's
go to a football game.
It's the only preseason game we have in Jacksonville.
That's right.
So get out there and enjoy
Absolutely.
it. All right. That will do it for us for this week. For Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, for Tom McManus, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show comes up next right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.